Hey, guys, welcome to Vanquisher. In this video we discuss part 7 of Naruto, the Vanquisher. Chapter 7, Fated Family. After accepting Hiruzen's request, Naruto was faced with a problem. The Uchihas that he should keep an eye on is in the same class as Naruto. He didn't have a problem with that, but the problem is with interacting with them and making friends with them. Naruto was not against the idea of being friends with both of them, but the problem is with their personalities. Because they both are quite a bit different from each other. Sasuke, then strongest in the class, was from the main household, and after experiencing the unthinkable he became so arrogant that no one was a match for his arrogance. Fudo was also stronger when compared with others, and he was the most depressed one in the class. He lost all of his family in the incident, and after knowing that he changed a lot. At first, he was a very cheerful kid, but all of a sudden losing all his family for unknown reasons, he came to his present state. Naruto was faced with a very difficult mission, but first, he wanted to know what happened on the night when the incident took place. After asking his friends, he came to know that he is one of the Anbu with promising talent and was behind the incident. The most shocking news was that Itachi was none other than the person who is next in line to become the clan head. He is also the blood-related brother of Sasuke Uchiha, and the most depressing thing is that he killed his parents. Naruto was continuing with his investigation about the Uchiha incident and also trying to talk to both of them. Naruto tried his best to talk with Sasuke, but he didn't even respond to him. On top of that, he looked at him with disgust in his eyes. But Fudo was not the same. At first he didn't respond, but after repeatedly trying he started to talk to Naruto. Secretly he followed Naruto and saw how he was treated by the villagers. Soon they started to talk with each other, and after seeing Naruto he also started to come back to his previous self. Naruto was bored in the class and he used to pull pranks on others during the class. Sometimes he would use his favorite sexy jutsu to disturb the class. Every time he used this jutsu, Iruka would have a nosebleed and he would collapse in the class. Seeing this, all the boys would laugh, and soon Naruto was punished for his behavior in the class. Due to all this, he was named the class clown, and on top of that, he was the dead last in the class. Naruto's friendship with Fudo got better and Naruto was the only friend for Fudo at present. They used to go out every time they went out. They would visit the Ichiraku ramen shop. The owner and his daughter welcomed both of them with a smiling face, and Fudo saw that they both treat Naruto as a family. Sasuke, on the other hand, was very hostile towards others. He would look at them with a glint of disgust. He was very arrogant to people who are weak, and he had many fangirls because of his status as the last surviving Uchiha. They were all head over heels and they would chase around him all day to be his girlfriend. The civilian council who are in power also showed huge respect for him, as if he was a prince. Experiencing all this, he became so arrogant of his bloodline and started to look down on everyone. One day Fudo was roaming around in the village. He was walking through the Ichiraku ramen shop. He went in, and they welcomed like a friend. After a while, he asked them a question about Naruto. The old man and his daughter told him about Naruto's past. After knowing what he went through, Fudo realized that what he is going through was nothing compared to Naruto's past. After suffering so much, he still kept laughing and enjoying himself, and Fudo realized that he should also leave the past behind and move on. From that day onwards, Fudo was good friends with Naruto and others and changed a lot, and he was now back to his previous self. Sasuke was very arrogant and he didn't even listen to anyone else because any mistake he made was brushed off by the civilian council like it didn't happen. At last, he was not charged with any kind of complaints, and this also showed the power of the civilian council. Sasuke was like a puppet in the hands of the civilian council and they encouraged him to join the route. Other side, Fudo made lots of friends and they are enjoying their academy and training their best to get stronger. Fudo was also training and he was trying his hardest to master his family's sword style. All of them have completed 3 years of their academy training, and with only 2 years left after that, they would become genins. As the class is full of children from various prominent clans, and some of them are future clan hires. As a result, there was a rivalry between the students, and everyone started to compete to attract more attention towards them. Everyone is training hard to become stronger, and the clan hires have a responsibility to showcase their powers and uplift their clans. Due to this, many friends became rivals, and they are getting stronger and stronger with each passing day. Fudo was also training, but he wanted Naruto to train with him, but Naruto refused his request. He was investigating other things that were happening in the village, and he had no time to spare to train with Naruto. He was waiting for the right time to showcase his strength to the village. The next day in the class, Naruto was pulling pranks, and some girls are chasing him. While doing so, he dashed into Sasuke without looking at him. This made Sasuke fell to the ground, and seeing this, all of the boys in the class started to laugh at him, and this made him so angry at Naruto. He didn't even listen to Naruto's apology and kicked him in the chest. This kick sent him flying back, and he crashed into the wooden benches behind him. Naruto was crashed into the benches, and he was barely breathing from taking the kick to his chest. He had some small injuries, and he was bleeding. Even after that, Sasuke didn't leave him there. He went to him and caught his neck and lifted him, then started to punch him in the face. While this is happening, Fudo entered the class and he looked that everyone had encircled. He couldn't see what was going on, but he heard that all the fangirls cheering for Sasuke. Then all of a sudden he heard a voice from the middle. Then he ran through the group and saw that Naruto was getting beaten by Sasuke. By the time he interrupted with Sasuke, Naruto's face was all bloodied and he was unconscious, lying on the floor in the mess. Later, when Iruka reached the class, he saw Naruto, who was unconsciously lying on the floor, and Fudo, who was fighting against Sasuke. Soon Naruto was shifted to the hospital, and both Sasuke and Fudo were suspended for their behavior. The next day, all of Konoha knew that Naruto got beaten by Sasuke Uchiha and was admitted into the hospital. They were happy to hear that the demon was put to its place by Sasuke Uchiha, who was seen as a hero. The complaint filed against Sasuke for injuring his fellow student was nowhere to be found. The records were destroyed by the civilian council. In return, Naruto was accused of hurting students in the academy, and a Chunin team was dispatched to investigate the case. In the evening, Fudo, Shikamaru, Choji, and Shino came to visit Naruto, and when they came, they brought some fruits for him. Shikamaru also said what was going on and what happened while he was in the hospital recovering from his injuries. After listening to everything he has to say, Naruto laughed and said everything that happened was as expected. He then asked, when are the sparring sessions going to start? Shikamaru then said from next week onwards. Naruto then said, until next week I will be not coming to the academy, and when I come back everything will change. Shikamaru thought that Naruto got hit in the head and he was saying some nonsense, and after chatting for a while they left the room and went to their houses. The night went by peacefully, and in the morning Naruto got up and removed all his bandages and went to his home, got changed, and then went to the Hokage's tower. It was so early that Hiruzen didn't even come to the office, so was going to his house to talk with him about something important. On the way, he was spotted by the Chunin team who were dealing with the case filed against him. They jumped down from the tree and surrounded Naruto and started to look at him with disgust. He asked them to move aside, but they didn't listen. They were about to attack him, and after seeing all this, Naruto got very angry. Naruto started to release his killer intent. The Chunins were unable to withstand the sudden burst of killer intent, and they collapsed on their knees. Naruto then looked at them with an angry look like he was about to kill them. After experiencing that, they ran from the place. Naruto went to Hiruzen's house to talk with him about some important things. Naruto was about to enter the house, but the door was pushed open and it slammed into Naruto's face and he fell to the ground. Naruto was he was heavily bleeding from his nose, and a kid was standing in front of him. Naruto then looked at the boy, and the boy then said it was his mistake to stand in front of my door. After listening to his words, Naruto got angry and he was about to beat him. Suddenly the door was pushed open again, and this time a ninja came out and he was looking around for someone. He then looked at Naruto and sent him a hateful glare. He then looked at the little kid standing in front of Naruto. He pushed Naruto and walked past him and checked the kid. He addressed the boy as the honorable grandson. The man then looked at Naruto and asked him if he knew who this little boy was. Naruto then said, I don't know, and I don't want to know. The ninja then said he is the grandson of Lord Hokage. After listening to those words, Naruto didn't say anything and went inside to talk with Hiruzen. When he reached the hall, he saw him sitting on a couch and reading a scroll. They greeted each other and soon Naruto started to tell about his investigation to Hiruzen. Hiruzen had much of the information, but he didn't know what exactly was happening, and after listening to Naruto's report he came to know what was going on in the village. After an hour of discussion, they both walked out. As soon as they walked out, a kunai came flying towards both of them, but Naruto backhanded it before it can injure any one of them. Naruto then looked to the side from where the kunai came flying, and there was the same boy who slammed the door into his face a while ago. Naruto then turned to Hiruzen and asked, "Grandpa, is this annoying brat your grandson?" Hiruzen replied with a nod and said, "Yes, he is my grandson." Hiruzen then asked, "What happened between both of you?" Naruto then turned to Hiruzen and said, "He slammed the door into my face a while ago." Soon a ninja followed behind him. While calling him the honorable grandson, the boy then walked to Naruto and said that it was his mistake to be there when I opened the door. Hiruzen then said, "Konohamaru, it's enough playing, go inside and start your reading." Hiruzen said those words in a very serious tone, and after that, the boy started to walk into the house. Everyone was going in their direction and suddenly the boy tripped and fell to the ground facing forward, slamming his face into the floor. Seeing this, Naruto looked at him. The boy got up and pointed at Naruto and said, "It was he who tripped me and made me fall." Naruto then said, "I didn't do anything, you tripped by yourself." The boy was so annoying that he didn't listen to what Naruto was saying and started to anger him. Hiruzen was looking at their argument and was enjoying himself. After a while, Naruto got irritated and smacked the boy on the head and said, "You tripped by stepping on your long ass scarf. You tripped by yourself, don't involve me in this matter." The ninja standing beside Hiruzen soon interrupted and said, "Naruto, you went too far by hitting the Hokage's grandson." Naruto then gave a serious look to the ninja and said, "Did I hit the Hokage?" The ninja then said, "No, but you hit his grandson." Naruto then said, "I don't care whose grandson he for me is just an annoying kid." He then turned to the kid and said, "Don't irritate me ever again. If you do, so I will hit you again, and I don't care who you are, now go and study." After this incident, Hiruzen and Naruto started to walk to the Hokage's tower to discuss some important matters. After reaching the office, Hiruzen said, "Naruto, you can do whatever you want, but don't cause any problems, and also what about the mission I gave you?" Naruto then said, "We don't have to worry about Fudo because he is on a good path, but I was worried about Sasuke, who was mostly influenced by Danzo and the civilian council to join the route. Sasuke's behavior is worse. To change him into a normal person we have only one option, that is to give him more power. Grandpa, I came here for help, that only you can do." Hiruzen then looked at Naruto and asked, "What is it that you want from me?" Naruto then said what he came, and Hiruzen then said, "I will consider your request, but it will take a few days to come into action." Naruto then said, "From today onwards Konoha will see another side of me." After saying that, he left the office and headed for the academy. On the way he went to his house and changed his clothes and went to the academy. All of them were in the class, and when Naruto entered the room everyone was shocked to see him in a new outfit. He was wearing a bright yellow sleeveless t-shirt with black Anbu joggers. A hip pouch was attached to his waist belt and 2 scrolls were attached to the belt on the other side, and a kunai pouch was tied around his thigh. He was also wearing a white jacket on top of the t-shirt, and it was all white with a red Uzumaki crest on the back, and he wore black ninja sandals. He looked more attractive than any boy in the class, and Naruto just walked to his spot at the end of the class. Seeing all this, Fudo was very curious and he asked Naruto, "What's all this about?" Naruto then said, "Today is very special." "What's so special about it, and what's gonna happen?" Naruto then said, "My old self is gone, and from today onwards you all will see another side of me." After a while, Iruka entered the class and he was in a hurry. He then looked at the class then said that he got an announcement to share. The class fell silent. Then Iruka said, "From today onwards the sparring matches will start." Then a pink-haired girl stood up and asked, "What about our classes?" Iruka then replied, "Sakura, half of your classes will be cancelled and in the afternoon your sparring matches will begin." Don't worry about your academics, these sparring matches will also be taken into consideration for your finals." Haruka then pasted a paper to the board and said this paper contains all the information about the sparring matches. In the afternoon everyone was taken to the training ground for their sparring session. Haruka started to explain the rules of the matches. The rules were the fight goes on until one of them gives up or the opponent is injured, the fight must be stopped as soon as the opponent is, and it can resume once the opponent is up and ready to fight. Everyone listen, this is important, the matches will be picked at random by another teacher who will be joining soon. By the time Haruka completed the rules a ninja came to them, and he then introduced himself as Mizuki, the proctor of the sparring matches from today onwards. He then said, as you all are new to this, first we will do mock battles until everyone gets used to the rules. For 1 week you all be doing mock battles until you get used to these rules. Mizuki then taught how this will give them an advantage, and 3 mock battles were conducted, and the class was dismissed for the day. After the academy, Naruto was walking to his house, but strangely a square-shaped rock started to follow him. Naruto got intrigued by it and started to play with it for a while. After that Naruto then said, "You can come out now, I have seen through your deception." The cloak was taken off and the same little boy who he saw at the Hokage's house was standing in front of him. Naruto then looked at him and asked Konohamaru, "What do you want and why do you keep following me all day?" He was shocked to hear that Naruto found out that he was following him all day long. He then asked, "Can I call you big bro?" Naruto looked at him and he said, "Yes, you can call me that." Naruto then looked at him and asked, "Why do you keep attacking the old man a lot?" He said, "I hate him, so I want to defeat him and become a Hokage." Naruto then broke into laughter and he said, "Even you defeat him, you can't be the next Hokage. Konohamaru, you can't defeat the old man even if you train all your life, because he is so strong that enemies even fear him to this day. It's because of him that Konoha is so peaceful." He then said that old man is no big deal, I can, and I will defeat him one day and become the Hokage. Konohamaru was looking at Naruto with starry eyes. Naruto then asked, "Now what, I want you to train me so that I can defeat the old man." Naruto then said, "If you want to train with me then you should pull a prank on the old man." Konohamaru was very interested and was listening to what he was saying. Naruto then said, "I will teach you a very powerful jutsu. I will train you only when you perfect this jutsu." Naruto then transformed into a nude blonde girl and smoke was covering all the private parts. Seeing this, Konohamaru said, "Big bro, how is this a powerful jutsu?" Naruto then replied, "You will see it when you use it against your grandpa, but before teaching this jutsu, I want to know the actual reason why you hate your grandpa." Konohamaru then said, "Because I was ignored by everyone because of him being a Hokage. Everyone in the village calls me the honorable grandson, but no one calls me Konohamaru. Even if I do something they say that Hokage's grandson did it, but they don't say Konohamaru did it. No one has been friends with me because I'm his grandson, even my tutor doesn't call me by my name. To be recognized by the village I want to become the Hokage." Naruto then said, "I know what you have been through, but you should not hate your grandpa because he cares so much for you. What you hate him for is not his mistake and he can't do anything even if he wants to, but he is protecting you from all the danger. You should be good to him because he's facing more problems just to keep everyone safe, and you should be grateful to him. From today onwards your big brother will train and be with you." After listening to Naruto's words, Konohamaru was very happy and started to cry. Seeing this, Naruto hugged him. Soon Naruto started to teach him the ultimate sexy jutsu, and it took him a little time to master that jutsu, but without knowing he learned the transformation jutsu. The next morning Konohamaru was practicing his new jutsu, and now he was able to do that for longer periods with best looks. When his trainer came to him, he was ready to test his new jutsu and soon transformed into a sexy nude girl. Seeing this, he had a nosebleed and fell unconscious to the floor. Konohamaru was surprised to see the power of the sexy jutsu. He prepared himself to challenge the Hokage before his trainer could wake up. He left the place to the Hokage tower to challenge his grandfather. He was stopped by an Anbu guard and he tells that the Hokage is very busy, but Konohamaru went inside Hiruzen's office. After entering the room, he looked at his grandfather and said, "I'm here to show you my new jutsu that I learned from big bro Naruto." Hiruzen was shocked to hear that. What the hell did he teach this brat? Konohamaru then said stop me if you can after hearing that two Anbus stood in front of Hiruzen to defend him from the danger. Konohamaru then made a ram hand sign and then transformed into nude women by seeing that they all had a nosebleed and they all were on the ground. He then looked at Hiruzen and said, "Grandpa, I have defeated you." He was laughing and dancing around seeing that Hiruzen was in a daze because Konohamaru stopped calling him grandpa a long time ago. He then walked to the boy and said, "Konohamaru, from today onwards you can go and meet Naruto, but he is a student, so promise me that you won't disturb his academics. After the academy, you can go to him and Ebisu will be teaching you while Naruto is in the class." The boy accepted it very happily and returned to the Sarutobi mansion. Naruto and Konohamaru became brothers and they would meet each other in the evening. They both were very mischievous in the village, pulling pranks and causing problems all day long. They enjoyed their time together, but while training they were very serious, and Konohamaru being a fast learner, it became easy to teach him new jutsu. Everyone in the academy was training very hard to get stronger and prove themselves for their clans and the village. That's it for this video, guys. If you like this video then please do share, like, and subscribe to this channel for more videos.